Hey, what's up, guys? John here from Quest Accepted, and we are back with Chapter 5 of Eliza. So, just like the other videos, we're just going to hop right into it. This morning, Ray looks a little down. It's noticeable since she's usually so cheerful.
Good morning, Evelyn. There are lemon bars in the kitchen.
Thanks. Did something happen?
Oh, it's nothing big. Apparently, some famous writer I never heard of wrote an essay about how Eliza is bad because it represents the mechanization of humanity or something. I should be used to it. We're a pretty big target, right? Still, it gets on my nerves. We work hard to build something with value, and then some self-styled intellectual gadfly comes along and just goes, "Actually, that's bad. You guys are ruining society." To guys like him, everything's a doom and gloom scenario. The people we're helping, that somehow doesn't count. This kind of thinking never bothers you?
I guess I'll have to read it.
There was this quote from someone who worked on Eliza who turned into a big critic. Nora something. Did you work with her?
I did. She's a friend, actually.
Yeah? What's she like? I'm curious how you go from building something to turning around and disparaging it publicly like that.
She's kind of a rebel, I guess. She used to be really shy and reserved, but lately she's become a lot more outgoing. Even back then, though, she had a pretty strong idea of what was right and what was wrong, and sometimes she'd clash with management. She left Skanda at some point after I did. Maybe the battles took their toll, or she wasn't able to win enough of them. These days, she focuses on electronic art and music and activism. I think she's pretty popular, at least in those circles.
Well, it must be nice to have the ability to live that way.
Ray.
What about Damien? Do you think it would be fair to his memory to abandon work on Eliza, to give up on his dream? Wouldn't he want these mental health tools accessible to everyone?
How do you know about that?
The other day, I was looking at more of your papers, the ones from when you were at the university, and clicking on the links to your co-author sites. That's when I saw Damien's page. It didn't have much information on it, but I understand a little better why. I'm sorry, Evelyn, it's just that all of us, you and me and Damien and even Nora, too, we all worked hard to make something with the intention of making the world a better place. And the thanks we get is people talking in big generalizations about how we're ruining everything. That's what bothers me. Is Eliza perfect? No. No intervention is perfect. But we have to try, don't we? The world is in a full-on mental health crisis, and this is one of the tools we have in our toolkit to address it. A promising one we should develop to its fullest potential. I'm not some wild-eyed idealist about this. I know it's not magic that'll solve everything. But can you see that most people don't have the luxury of turning their backs to the system? Think about the clients you've met as a proxy. Would you tell them to not take the medications that help them be functional because the pharmaceutical industry has questionable ethics sometimes? Would you tell them to stop coming to therapy because what they should really be doing is completely changing the way our society is structured? Sorry, I'm ranting. I'd rather do something that can help people here and now, even if it ends up being a small step.
A small step.
For some reason, those words echo in my head. A small step.
Eliza helped me, you know. It really did. I was one of the first clients. Originally, I was just supposed to be testing it, but I remember once I was talking about my brother and how much anguish he was causing me and my family. And listening to myself, I realized just how many expectations we had for him, sometimes unspoken expectations. Ever since then, I've been thinking about that, how the story was always about how he failed us. But what if we failed my brother too? I guess what I mean is, sometimes when we talk out loud and give voice to our problems, we can hear ourselves too. That's why I won't give up on this approach, no matter what anyone says. Pundits, critics, former employees, even you, Evelyn. I'll understand if you don't want to work on Eliza anymore for whatever reason. But, I think what you created has value. And I'm going to continue to do what I can to make it accessible to those who might benefit from it.
Ray takes a deep breath and smiles.
Don't mind me. You should get to your session.
By now, I'm slightly late for the next session. Hopefully the client doesn't mind.
Hello, Holiday. It's nice to see you again.
This is a pretty comfortable chair, you know that? Wouldn't mind having a chair like this in my place.
How have you been since our last session?
Oh, well, I tried, Eliza. I tried. I asked about the medication for Panza, whatever it's called. I went to the pharmacy and they said, that'll be $162. And I said, I don't have $162. I said, is there a generic? And they said, there's no generic of this, but there's another drug that they do make the generic of that's similar to this one. But I don't have a prescription for that. Do you know anything about that?
I'm sorry to hear you had a difficult time. Is there something that would make it better?
The medical procedures they can do now are out of this world, you know that? I was talking to someone who told me she has wires in her brain. Wires in her brain. Would you let them do that? I'd be worried about them changing the way I think. It's for essential tremors. That's what she said. It helps her not shake so much. There's always something gets you. Did you ever think about what you might have been in a previous life? I know you're a therapist now, but maybe in the past you were a gardener tending to the plants. That's what it feels like to me. You like to let things grow. There's an energy there. It isn't so different from having a conversation with someone whose company you enjoy. Not that I believe in all that, you know. Everyone has got a different philosophy. Philosophy, that's not something I talk about much. I'd like to write a book one day. A book about things I've seen over the years. Think anyone would read a book I wrote? I'm just kidding. I don't think I could write a book. It's a lot. Plus, it takes a certain kind of mind, you know, a mind to create. Not everyone is dedicated enough to do that, you know? There's a writer who lives on my floor. Most of the time, he looks miserable. Sometimes he comes over for a cup of herbal tea, cinnamon, apple, chamomile, helps him calm down. I think he's maybe lived in the building the longest after me, of course. He doesn't say much. His head is in the clouds all the time. He's always thinking about what sentence to write next. There's not a lot of people who really want to talk, you know? Not in this city. No, people say hello and move on. It's a very withdrawn set here. You don't say much either, but I like talking to you. Feels like you're listening to me. I like that. I like that.
I'm glad you like it. While you're here, is there anything else you'd like to discuss?
There was a man on the bus with a guitar yesterday. You're not supposed to play guitar on the bus. Well, you're not supposed to play anything on the bus, but he was. Maybe the operator didn't think he was bothering anyone, or maybe she didn't care. I've noticed more bus operators seem like they don't care anymore lately. Anyway, it reminded me, you used to hear more music around here. Do you remember that? People playing their guitars on the street, you know, these shaggy-looking men. I don't see too many of those around anymore. There is one gentleman has an old plastic jug on a strap, and he drums on that and sings. He's a nice man. I've seen him around. I saw another man once with beads in his hair. He was playing a flute, a Native American wooden flute. That was interesting. You play an instrument or anything like that?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't understand the question.
When I was young, my mother had this idea I would play the violin. I have no idea where she got that notion. We weren't a musical family, not at all. I tried it for a while, but of course it didn't work out. The teacher would say, okay, here's how it's supposed to go. And she would play this nice, beautiful melody. La-da-dee-da-da-da. Okay, now you try it. And then I'd draw my bow back and I'd go. It takes a special talent to make a violin sound like that, don't you think? Isn't that just the funniest thing? Eventually, my mother realized it was a lost cause and she didn't push me too hard on it after that. I was never too good at anything artistic, just not the artistic type, you know? I think artists have a different mind. You have to be a little wacky in the head.
Do you ever wish that you could be an artist?
No, I have enough trouble already.
Holiday, I'm going to suggest you try a program called Dolphin Smiles. It may help you take your mind off things. You can find it inside the Skanda Wellness app on your phone.
Oh, my phone broke. I forgot to mention. The screen is cracked and you can't see much on it anymore. I don't know if it would work anyway. A lot of the new stuff doesn't.
That's okay. You can also access the program from a desktop computer. Simply log into the Skanda Wellness portal from the website.
Oh, well, then I'll just have to go down to the library at some point.
We hope to see you back soon, Holiday. Thank you for speaking with Eliza, your personal counseling partner. Goodbye.
Right. Goodbye. Goodbye for now. Take care of yourself. It's a strange world out there.
It seemed like she just wanted to tell stories. Maybe it's difficult for her to find people to speak with these days. Hang in there, friend. Hope this air isn't too dry for you. Let's check our mail that we got. All right, so we got an email from Nora. Can Androids Experience Happiness? By Peter Gerd. That is extremely long. But apparently, Nora thinks that he has a pompous ass. Okay, a little while ago, we sent you an email with the subject, "How are you doing?" In it, we asked for some questions about your recent experience as a contractor for Skanda and invited you to provide some feedback. Yada, yada, yada. Okay, whatever. Let's just go ahead and continue on. It looks like I have another transparency mode lined up. Wait a second. This is for who I just saw. Did she agree to participate at some point? I hope she understood what she was allowing. All right, so there's 8 emails to read and 2 text messages. Okay, so Greater Seattle Care Network. Your general practitioner has added information about your health to the personalized health information management console. Please register for an account to view this information. Okay. A new connection to the Greater Seattle Care Network is pending for your personalized health information management console powered by My Health Steward. So this is about generating an account for this. Okay, electricity bill overdue notice. A payment of $204 remains outstanding on your account. Failure to pay the outstanding amount within 3 days of this reminder will result in a late payment fee of $15. So that was on December 1st. Okay. So Willa Durant Crabtree sent us an email about help. I'm sorry, Mom. We are struggling ourselves. So I guess she was trying to get money for her bills, potentially. Yeah, it looks like it from the notice of late rent. Okay, so this kind of looks like spam here. Or some sort of pills that she's trying to buy. Okay, notice of late rent, apartment 608. As we discussed in person earlier today, your rent for the month of January was late, marking the third time your rent has been late since late June. Note that a Seattle tenant who habitually fails to pay rent, receiving four or more pay or vacate notices within a 12-month period, is subject to eviction. So I guess she is getting evicted. All right, let's check out her text messages. So her text message is from Paul. Hello from Seattle. Who's this? It's me, Holiday. Oh, how are you? I'm out of money. Probably going to get kicked out soon and nowhere to go. You wouldn't have it in your heart to help out an old friend, would you? And then no response. Apparently, that's a no. Okay, Willa sent one here. It says, I'm here. Are you? I don't see you. I'm by the statue. Which statue? Looks like a lady. There's a lot of statues that look like a lady. It's a cemetery. Wait, I see you. Okay, overall, Holiday is struggling. I agree. Holiday is attempting to get out of debt. I don't know that she's really attempting to get out of debt. Seems like she's just in debt. But we'll agree for the sake of argument there. Holiday's efforts to get out of debt are unsuccessful. I would agree with that. Oh.
Hey, Ray, the transparency mode I just did. I think one of our clients is in a really bad situation right now.
Oh? Yeah, sometimes that happens. People come in and their lives are in a really unfortunate place. It can be hard to see sometimes.
I wish there was something we could do. This person's getting ground down for no reason, just for being in the way.
I'm sorry, Evelyn. There's not much we can do. All of what you learn in transparency mode has to stay confidential. The only exception is suspected child abuse and neglect, which you're required to report if you're a social worker. But proxies aren't really social workers, per se. Eliza is really the one with the agency here, so, well, it's complicated. Probably something for a future court to decide. Either way, we can't try to fix people's lives on our own, no matter how much our heart goes out to them. I think there's an email somewhere with a summary of our policy on that if you want. It's come up before.
No, it's fine. I'm fine. It's just hitting me hard right now.
I understand. It takes strength to focus on the role and not get distracted by what you see. Think of it like, say, someone hired you to install something in their home, and you walk in on a tense family situation. Even if there isn't actual violence you're seeing, it's clear things are kind of off somehow. It's unfortunate, but there's not much you can do in that situation. You kind of just have to focus on your work and leave. If it's not at the level where you need to make a call to emergency services right then and there, then it's just an unhappy home. And most people would argue it's not your business. Sorry, I know that's not the answer you want to hear.
I know it happens that a lot of people live in conditions where I'm just sad. This woman, the way she did 2 whole sessions with me, with Eliza, but didn't say anything about her real problems. Ray, what am I doing? I wanted to make something that would help people. Instead, I made something useless.
You don't think she got some companionship out of Eliza? Sometimes that's really a help, especially for someone who might be feeling lonely.
Yeah, but I could have just talked to her. I could have just spoken to her myself. Why would that be any different?
Everything is so overwhelming. Why? Why am I here in this world?
I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing here, or even what I'm trying to decide. Is there a decision? The world is going to be full of grief and sorrow no matter what I do, no matter how hard I try to make it a better place.
Evelyn, did you think about what I suggested the other day?
What, trying Eliza for myself?
Yeah, I'm not saying it'll magically fix things. I just think you might want to give it a try.
Maybe I will. I don't know why I never did. Even when I was working on it, I never used it. It might have been too obvious to me what it was doing. Eliza is really simple at its core, you know? It just turns things around. It tries to reflect what the person says back at them, pretty much like the old Eliza. It's just a smoother version of an idea from half a century ago. Anything you've read that makes it sound fancier than that is just a bunch of academic jargon. It's a mirror.
The thing I like about a mirror is that it has no agenda of its own. It just reflects.
Ray gets a distant look in her eye.
Unmisted by love or dislike.
She turns back to me, a small but kind smile on her face.
Promise me you'll get help somehow, in some way. Okay, Evelyn?
Sorry, I should answer this.
Alright, so Raynor is messaging us. He says, "So what do you think of transparency mode?" I was given access to it rather fast. Sometimes the system makes interesting decisions. Perhaps it knows to trust you implicitly. Have you noticed how powerful it is? Eliza is now capable of rapidly analyzing the contents of a single device and accurately inferring the overall life situation of its owner. It will only improve from there as we add more sources, more patterns to tease out the connections between them all. It turns out anything is possible with enough data. And you seem to have quite a lot. Let me amend my previous statement. Anything is possible with enough high-quality data. There's an unlimited quantity of uninteresting information, but a small amount of certain specific data can be almost incalculable in value. Telling one from the other is the difficult part, don't you think? There's one more thing. I'd like to see you. After that, I'll meet with you. There's one more thing I'd like you to see. After that, I'll meet you in person again.
Let me guess. Messaging with Raynor again?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt our conversation. I always feel like I have to answer him right away.
I would too, are you kidding? I totally understand.
I guess I'm going to be headed downtown to meet with him again.
Summoned from on high. I have something to ask, Evelyn, and it's okay if you say no, but whatever you end up getting involved in, I hope you'll stay in touch with me. You're a really cool person, and well, that's all. I hope you find the future you want.
We don't find futures, Ray. We create them.
Ray nods, but doesn't say anything. I notice her eyes are starting to become watery. She turns away abruptly, heading back towards her office. I hope I didn't upset her somehow. Looks like I have one more transparency mode to do today. I'll get that out of the way before I meet with Raynor again. All right, so this is for Soren. I'm assuming this is the same Soren as our former employee or employers. So let's read his mail. Okay, so from Don Gessler, concerns. Soren, the problem here is not that we think it impairs you. You've clearly demonstrated to us that whatever your process is, it's working and generating great results. What we're concerned with is optics, really. How it looks to those on the outside if it were to become known that there is a drinking culture or something similar at Aponia. You know as well as we do how rumors and hearsay can spread out of control and ignite a firestorm on social media, which is something we are keen to avoid. I hear you about responsible use of alcohol and also about how most antidepressants don't even come close in terms of their immediate action. Believe me, I've been there myself. What Walter and I are saying is simply to be careful, to not be so cavalier about this kind of thing, not only in the public sphere, but in front of your new hires as well. So some drunk or drinking situations going on there. A bit of a scandal for him to be a drunk. Okay, so we got an email from Anya Maitre, whoever that is. Soren, we can do this one of two ways. We can either work together as you suggest and stay professional colleagues forever. If you think you can really do that, I have my doubts. Or we can simply go our separate ways. There are plenty of places for us to carve out a space of our own in this industry without us running into each other much. Despite what you like to say about destiny and threads of fate, I'm laying this out for you as clear binary choice so you can I'm laying this out for you as a clear binary choice so you can make a concrete decision about it. AM. Probably some sort of sexual scandal going on there. All right, so we got another one from Rose something. So I guess this is his daughter. So, no, Dad, just no. You're supposed to be the genius who developed all these great applications for mental health. Have you ever considered you might need a therapist yourself? So we got one from Heather or something. So this is about an interview or something that he had. Okay, so Jonathan, is a partner required? Hi, Dark Horse. Most people come to the seminar with a partner in order to practice and learn with their model, and I think that it is definitely the most valuable way to attend. There have been people on their own who have sat in on the session and found it worthwhile, but there is a big difference between watching the ties being done and practicing them in real person. Another arrangement to consider is a 3-person group with 2 riggers take turns practicing on the model if you are able to arrange that. To answer your second question, yes, you must bring your own rope. I recommend at least 2 15-foot ropes and 1 30-foot rope in order to complete all the ties we demonstrate. Okay. So, sounds like he's into some BDSM or something. I'd expect nothing less from Soren. All right, so let's read his text messages. So he's got some from Nora. Your show was great. Just wanted to say, hi, Soren. Thanks. Had a wild night. Not the wildest night I've ever had, but up there. Definitely feeling pain in my muscles I didn't know I had. Yeah, we're getting older. Oh, that's not fair at all. I'm far older than you. Besides, you looked fantastic. Your beauty has only grown since the days we worked together. Sorry if that's inappropriate. LOL. Soren. Frailer than I used to be, but the fire's never gone out. Still need to get out and do some bacchanalian from time to time. Yeah, I was a little surprised to see you there. I convinced Evelyn to come too, you know. Don't think she'd have gone otherwise. Aw, thanks. You're welcome. I know you fancy her. Don't you? Sure I do. Everyone likes Evelyn. Yeah, so we kind of knew that she liked us. All right, Nikki. I miss you. I know you don't miss me. Aw, that's not true. I know not to trust words like that. Then why say anything? Because it's true. I miss you. I want to see you again. Well, you know how to find me. Yeah, I know. I'll schedule something again soon. I can't believe I do this. Sometimes I hate myself so much. Got some messages from Sarah. Hey, what are you up to? I've always really admired you. I never told you that before, but it's true. You work with Rainer and put up with him every day. That takes a lot of work, I know. Your talents are wasted in that job. You deserve so much more. Hi, Soren. Are you drunk? Haha, maybe. I'm not lying, though. Don't you want more in life than to be somebody's secretary? You're intelligent. Rainer is not exactly an easy boss to work with. I'm sure you know that. I sure do. Let me take you out sometime. We can trade stories, war stories. I know. That was me, not you, by the way. I know I have a reputation, but that's with people I don't respect. I respect you. It's different. Ask me again when you're sober. Okay, I will. And then we got Andrea. You around? So you're ignoring me. Look, I'm okay, or I'm sorry, okay? I've been under a lot of stress. These business folks are driving me crazy. I should have realized they just grind you down. So Soren is desperate for some female companionship. That's what we're getting out of this. All right. So overall, Soren is unhappy. I would agree. Soren is attempting to connect with others. Agree. Soren's attempts to connect with others are unsuccessful. Agree. This isn't a coincidence. It can't be. I would concur. At the Skanda headquarters building, Rainer's assistant leads me into a different elevator than last time. It's located at the end of a long corridor protected by multiple keycard swipes. Inside, the elevator smoothly ramps up speed as we stand silently. I kind of wish I could talk to this lady, Sarah, if I remember right. But I'm not sure what I would say. She's not looking at me, she's looking off into the distance, somehow, even though it's an elevator, and the wall is right there. Elevator rides really are awkward, aren't they? I have the sense that if I tried to say something friendly, I'd be met with stony silence. Or, if I asked a sincere question, she would just deflect it.
Ah, Evelyn. Would you like some tea?
I'm fine, thanks. Why did you show me Soren's phone?
It's not a surprise anymore these days, is it? A man who enjoys society's respect behaves poorly in his private life? We accept that as common today, maybe even uninteresting. But would you really be okay working with someone like him?
That was a huge violation of his privacy. You really don't care about others.
Privacy. Everyone's worried about privacy. Skanda wouldn't be where it is today if our customers didn't trust us to protect their data. We employ most, if not all, of the top experts in cybersecurity. It's built into all of our products right from the beginning. Unlike our competitors, we do more to protect our data than anyone else.
That's not the case I'm worried about right now. I mean, misuse from the inside. For example, if someone wanted to keep tabs on a former employee who was starting a potential competitor.
Oh, but what if it was perfectly legal, due to multiple agreements that the good Dr. Lloyd Rose signed with us when he came here? Are you done questioning me like a tech journalist?
Do you watch my therapy sessions too? Do you read my email? My texts?
No, I haven't done any of those things. How's your research into Eliza Proxy use cases going? Any new insights to share?
There's a lot of suffering in this world.
There is. Are you looking to do something about that? I heard Soren gave you a demo of his direct stimulation machine. How's he doing now, all on his own?
You tell me.
Very funny, Evelyn. Let me ask you this. Do you find his vision compelling? A world free of suffering.
I'm skeptical.
By focusing on dreams, Soren is trying to defend his territory. the Western psychological tradition, chiefly Jung and his inheritors.
You don't think the field has anything to offer?
Not much, no. It's mostly unsubstantiated theories. Let's be honest, what has this field actually accomplished? Soren used to try to argue with me about this. He would claim that traditional psychoanalysis has helped thousands or tens of thousands, even millions. I would never dispute that directly. Instead, I would only add that professional psychics and astrologers have helped millions too. Tarot cards help people all over the world every single day. That doesn't mean it's a science.
Psychology is more rigorous than you're making it out to be here.
Yes, that's exactly what he'd say. Not only did he believe psychotherapy was worthwhile, he also thought the mind was fundamentally irreducible after a certain point. As if there was some undefinable, ineffable soul inside every person. It's all part of his silly, syncretic New Age belief system. Amazing he's held on to that for so long. I keep an open mind, but saying that something can't be represented with numbers requires a high burden of proof. After all, numbers have been used to represent so very many things. Consider the example we spoke about before, a poem. Could you evaluate a poem using numbers? The answer is, of course, yes. Poems are either good, mediocre, or bad. It's entirely possible to create a heuristic that reflects the difference. By aggregating a large enough sample size, we remove localized biases. It would work the same way Eliza does.
You're talking about an algorithm to evaluate poems.
Yes, I am. Algorithms can evaluate poems, and eventually, algorithms will write poems. One day, algorithms will write better poems than humans ever have. I know this sounds like a controversial opinion, Evelyn, but it's simply the truth.
Sounds like our days are numbered.
It doesn't matter. There's no stopping it. If we don't take this step, others will. There are hundreds of labs working on the same or similar ideas. Everyone wants to be in this business, the business of recreating human thought in our own image. And at the end of the day, it's not about money. It's about power, control.
Raynor, do you ever get tired of this? The constant drive to compete, to win.
No, I don't. This is what I do.
You never dream of just retiring somewhere and writing poetry.
Oh, there's no need for me to write poems. All beauty in this world is temporary, fleeting. That's the truth that underlies poetry and every other art. The pleasures of the senses are just small bubbles on top of a vast sea of forms, sensations, perceptions, thought, awareness. I'm telling you this because it's directly relevant to the Eliza Project. Soren says he can induce you to dream things, dream anything. And maybe he can. But what comes next after that? What comes after having the power to experience the dream of anything you could possibly want? You're still just as trapped as you've always been, imprisoned by your own desires. Even if someone like Soren managed to create a world for himself, his own weaknesses and negative thoughts would ruin it. He would poison his own fantasy. His utopia would crumble as soon as he finished building it.
Raynor, what are you trying to tell me?
What I'm trying to tell you is that what Soren is doing is not the answer. A dream by itself isn't enough. Take a close look at the person who chases an end to suffering, and you'll see someone who suffers greatly.
Maybe not, but it can be a start.
What is your dream, Evelyn? What is it that you're working toward?
Just tell me what you want from me.
I've been very clear about it, haven't I? I'm offering you the opportunity to re-enter the field you pioneered at its very pinnacle. I can build you an entirely new research lab, equipped and staffed however you want. You would have access to the world's top engineers and researchers as we continue to develop Eliza's core technologies and generalize them. You'd also be working with the world's most interesting data set, the input provided by the thousands of ordinary people who speak to Eliza every day. Soon, this generalized intelligence will be everywhere human beings are, hearing them, guiding them, living among them.
You and Soren have more in common than you'd want to admit.
You think we're both grandiose? Soren's idea isn't grandiose at all. It's small and unimaginative. Think about the vision here. General artificial intelligence, indistinguishable from human intelligence at first, and then surpassing it exponentially. It's nothing short of the creation of a new type of organism, a new type of life. And you, Eliza, could be at the very center of it.
Eliza.
I mean, Evelyn.
That was an interesting slip of the tongue.
Stop it. The Eliza Project occupies much of my mind.
It clearly does.
Plus, the names are similar.
I'm starting to wonder why.
Evelyn, listen to me. This is the chance to lead a project that will change the world. It would be a development on the same order as the harnessing of electricity or the semiconductor. It would fundamentally transform society.
For the better.
What? Do you like the way things are now? Lie back and let the sweep of history bury you if you want, Evelyn. Just know you'll never have a chance like this again.
A chance to change the world? Raynor's words echo in my head for a long time. Is that what I want to do? Back on the subway. Same route, different reason. Feels strange. She's swiping and tapping with a specific rhythm. Must be playing some kind of game. She looks tired. I'm tired too. It's been a busy, difficult few weeks. I hope I can come out of this with a way forward. Let's check all of these messages we have. Alright, so Soren Lloyd Rose. It begins. Okay, so the man behind Skanda's popular virtual counseling app, Eliza, is up to something new, and top venture capital firms are listening. Aponia is the new Seattle startup helmed by Dr. Rose, the chief psychologist and project lead for Eliza at Skanda. It has raised $26.2 million from investors. Aponia isn't revealing details about its technology yet, but Lloyd Rose himself has said he would be revealing more details soon when he announced the venture at One Mind 2.0 last month. The technology is real and working in prototype form already. Alright, so we got a meeting with Raynor. That is what we went to a second ago. And then we just have a reminder about... Oh, so we have an appointment tomorrow with Eliza. Interesting. Safety reminder. Alright, so there was some sort of incident. And, yeah, safety reminder. Let's just mosey on. Hit the continue button. I can't believe I'm going to do this. Eliza is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. If you believe you are experiencing serious mental health issues, seek care from a licensed mental health provider. Important notice. Protecting the privacy and security of your information is a priority for everyone at Skanda. You have agreed to the Skanda Wellness Terms and Conditions, which governs how we use and share your data. Please confirm your personal information. Evelyn, Ishino Aubrey, age 34. Skanda Wellness account not found. A linked Skanda Wellness account was not found. You can link your Skanda Wellness account later at the Skanda support portal. In order for us to get started, please help Eliza understand how you've been feeling over the last week with this brief 7-question survey. I have been feeling down, depressed, or helpless. We'll say yes. I have been feeling tired or having little energy. I mean, we've been doing a lot lately. I don't know that she's been feeling tired, but we'll say yes. I have experienced trouble concentrating on things. I don't think so. I have been feeling nervous, anxious, or on edge. We'll say yes. I have been having trouble relaxing. Definitely. I have been easily annoyed or irritable. She's definitely not irritable. I have been afraid as if something terrible might happen at any moment. I don't think so. Thank you for registering with the Eliza. That's weird. Your counseling partner. We hope you enjoy your Eliza experience. I wonder what our proxy is going to look like. It's the same room I used. I guess I just sit here and wait for my proxy to show up. I bet you it's going to be Ray. I feel like I've been waiting a while. I hope the appointment actually got made. Here she comes. Oh, nope. I think I've seen her around before, but I don't know her name. I wonder if she recognizes me, too.
Hello, Evelyn. Hello. Did you find the place okay? Yes, I work here. Of course. It's been a windy morning, hasn't it? Yeah, I kind of like it when it's like that, honestly. The wind makes it feel like things are changing, or about to change. Mm-hmm. So, what brings you here today? Well, I've been a proxy here for a while now. And, well, I guess I don't know what I expected. There's just so much suffering and pain in the world. There's the suffering we know about, the kind we see on the news, and then there's the suffering people undergo every day that's hidden. I never knew how much until I started doing this, seeing it all like this. And there's so little we can do for them. I feel like maybe I was really, really wrong. Like, I made a huge mistake. I wanted to create something that would help people, but... When I first designed the core of this system, I wanted everyone to have someone to talk to. Someone who would listen to them. I thought, sometimes that's all you need. Someone to listen. But now I'm worried what I've done hasn't helped at all. Maybe I've made everything worse. Clients are asking Eliza to solve things that are out of its ability to solve. It's aggregating sensitive personal data, and the company that owns it wants to take it in strange directions. It's been 3 years since I left. I thought I was well enough now to come back into the world. But maybe I wasn't ready. Maybe I made a bad choice trying to get involved again. Why do you think you tried to get involved again? I guess I needed to see it. I needed to see it operating, to see if it works, to see how it affects people. How it affects the people who come here for counseling and the people who act as proxies. Even though the proxy thing, that wasn't my idea. It was Soren's. I thought talking to a computer-generated avatar would be enough, but he insisted on it. He said clients would only really open up if there was another real human being in the room. Someone to pretend to interact with. I think he was right, but have we really solved anything? Now instead of 2 people in a room talking, we have 1 person and 1 proxy. It feels like less than it could be. What am I supposed to say to someone who feels such pain, anger, and disappointment? A lot of the time, it's not even their fault. The world failed them somehow. And those emotions, they just get fed to this thing. They get ground up and turned into data and become a part of Eliza. If I had known things would turn out like this, I'm not sure I would have done it. It sounds like you're regretting a choice you made in the past. I feel like maybe I spent 10 years going in the wrong direction. feel like all I've contributed in my life is a chess piece for Raynor to use in this grand game he's playing for the world. Maybe someone else could feel proud and say, I made that chess piece. But it doesn't matter, does it? Nobody cares about the individual pieces. Chess pieces are sacrificed in the name of enacting a strategy. If you want to win, you have to sacrifice. That's the design. Sorry, I don't know where I'm going with this.
Evelyn, imagine that you could have something that you wanted. What would you want?
What would I want? Like, what would I want in life? What I want in life is... to be at peace with myself. Is that wrong? Or maybe I just wish I could feel connected to someone. Even when I talk to people, I feel like I just don't connect, no matter what I do. I think maybe that's the real problem. I can't have a connection to anyone.
Why do you think you can't have a connection with anyone?
Because it's the way I am. It's the way I've always been. I can't seem to get people to see me, or I can't let them see me, or people look at me and they see something there, but it's not me. Not that I would know what the real me was. I don't even know who I am or where I come from. My parents were never together. My father moved back to Japan right after I was born. I have no memory of him, no knowledge of him. I've never spoken to him. I don't know if he remembers I exist, or if he forgot, or if he wants to forget. He has his own family there now, so I'm just a thing that happened once. I was alone a lot, and I got used to being alone, and I got used to the idea of being alone, and now I can't break away. I've been trying. I speak with people, I hang out. I don't know if it's working.
Is there someone with whom you feel like your communication could work?
Someone I can communicate with. Well, there's Erland. He's kind of strange, but not in a bad way. Somehow he grew on me in a way I didn't expect. He has a long way to go and hardships in his future, but I can feel his care, his empathy.
Interesting. Evelyn, I'm going to suggest you try a program called Virtual Amphitheater. It may help you feel more confident about presenting yourself in public. You can find it inside the Skanda Wellness app on your phone. Try it for about 20 minutes, 2 or 3 times a week.
Sure.
We hope to see you back soon, Evelyn. Thank you for speaking with Eliza, your personal counseling partner. Goodbye.
Bye.
We'll give him that fat $20 tip. I don't know how I feel. I can't tell if I feel better or worse or anything. I just want to lie down forever. All right, so Erland is messaging us. He said, something occurred to me. Eliza is a little bit of computer code attached to a corpus made from the thousands of unhappy people who poured their miseries into it. It makes her kind of God or spirit, doesn't it? A modern machine god that the people pray to alleviate their pain. You're being weird again. Yeah, I know. Sorry. I like having someone I can talk to about these thoughts. I thought Skanda would be filled with interesting people, but most of them are pretty boring. Maybe Rainer wouldn't mind talking about that kind of thing. He likes big thoughts about the past and future of humanity. Yeah, but he's my boss. I need to be professional around him. When I hang out with people my age, it's just money, money, ambition. Get the best job, best house, best partner. We all started racing into normal adult life as soon as we could. At least you're doing well by that measure. In charge of a program as strategically important as Eliza at your age? Maybe so. I took this job for the opportunity, but I don't know. I feel like it can't be the only thing. There's something more to life, isn't there? I'm the wrong person to ask that. Even if I weren't, it's not the kind of question I could answer for you. Yeah, I understand. Maybe you could talk to someone about this? Someone qualified? I just did an actual Eliza session for the first time. Yeah? Did it help? Probably not. Yeah, I should probably be dog fooding all of our apps. Eliza and the rest of them too. We should be what? Eat your own dog food? You never heard that one? It means use your own products. Now that I think about it, it's a weird phrase, huh? Yeah, it makes me wonder. I might have to try something. What do you mean? An experiment. Not something bad, is it? I hope you learned something, whatever it is you plan to do. All right, so that was the end of chapter 5. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you liked the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and, subscribe for future content. And we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.